All right. Hello, everyone. Are you able to hear me? Okay, let me show my face a little bit because tonight we are going to dissect Warren Buffett's latest trade, and I'm super excited. Hello, guys. Hello. How are you? Are you able to hear me? If you're able to hear me, please type can, C-A-N, so that I know that you guys can hear me and I am ready to get started. All right, let's see. Okay, you guys are streaming in, and I know there's 10-second lag, so I'm just waiting for you guys so that just to make sure. All right, I think I can hear my own voice. I believe should be okay. All right, so tonight what we are going to cover, it's super exciting because if you have been following or maybe you have been investing, right, you know Warren Buffett is the guru that a lot of not just you, me, but also fund managers, right? They also follow Warren Buffett, for what kind of investment ideas does he have right now. And his investment decisions, right, most of the time actually create a lot of impact to the rest of the world as well. All right. So Cal can hear me. Hello. Great to see you. Hi, David. Hello, Matthew. All right. So this who is this Facebook user? I don't know who you are, but yeah, if you enable, I can see your name and I can talk to you directly. And hello, Halumi-chan. Hisashiburi desu. Okay, Halumi is one of my Japan students, so great to see you as well. Halumi has been really following Warren Buffett as well, and a lot of time she also invest based on Warren Buffett's signal. All right, so tonight we are here to learn how exactly can we find out what is the latest investment trades that Warren did, right? And on top of that, what can you do, and in what area can you actually see whether you want to apply on whatever that you are learning tonight, okay, from Warren Buffett's portfolio into your own portfolio. So this is the hello, Mary. Oh my God, Mary is here. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, Mary is even Mary from the Buffett family is watching me going Facebook Live. I'm super excited. All right. So what's going to happen right now? I'm just going to do share screen, and let's dissect. Okay, Warren Buffett's latest trick together. All right. Hi, Raymond. And yeah, Mary is even here to share with us. Okay, unfortunately, can't invite her to come on to this live, but I think she will have a lot of insight and wisdom to share with you as well. If you have ever watched Mary Buffett go live, right, you have definitely learned a lot from her. All right. So tonight we are going to dissect Warren Buffett's 3 latest investment trade. Okay, we all know that Warren, he does a lot of different things. Okay, of course, in this half an hour Facebook Live, I can't possibly go into nitty-gritty of everything, so I'm just going to short list, okay, the 3 most important trades that, in my opinion, that you guys should consider what kind of whether you want to consider to enter some positions or maybe exit some positions based on whatever Warren Buffett just did in the recent quarter as well. Okay, so let's get started. Wow, Henry give me a kiss. Thank you. All right, let's get started. So before I review the top 3 investment trades that Warren recently did, right? How do you feel when you see this news? All right. So recently, before it was publicly announced what kind of investment trades that he did lately, right? Last week, there's actually a news coming out saying that, hey, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, okay, whatever that we are talking about tonight, actually it's our Berkshire Hathaway's position. So Warren being the owner, CEO of Berkshire, so a lot of times we you basically put an equal sign between Warren Buffett and Berkshire. So Warren's Berkshires, right, last week potentially cash out as much as $5 billion worth of shares, okay, in Apple last quarter. So when you see this kind of news, if you are already an Apple investor, okay, how do you feel? Right? Let me know. If you are already an Apple investor, right, you can describe your feelings. Okay, because I am personally an Apple investor as well. So I just want to share with you my thoughts of how I read all these news, and hopefully it can be useful for you as well. So if you are Apple investors, of course you have to stay up to date of the latest news so that you can also make a better and more sound investment decision as well. So a lot of times, okay, I can see a lot of you here. Okay, so if you are participate, just participate, because by participating, you can definitely take away a lot more things than you just sit and watch. All right. So I know maybe some of you are having dinner right now. Okay. Yeah, just participate in the meantime and learn. All right. That is the quickest way that you can take away something. Okay. So for usually most of the time, when investors outside, they see this, right? They see this, wow, oh my God, Warren Buffett cashing out $5 billion. Okay, $5 billion is really not a small amount, right? So when you see this kind of figure, many people outside are very fearful. They'll be thinking, why is Warren Buffett selling Apple? So is Apple no longer a great company to invest in? That's why he decided to sell out. So that's why when this kind of news come out, if you don't go deeper into the deeper level of this news, exactly what's the reason behind why Warren sold the shares, right? You will most of the time feel panic, and if you feel panic, then of course it's not good for your own portfolio, because when you are panicking, it will most likely you'll make stupid investment decisions, right? So when you see this, right, most importantly is you're really going to find out exactly what is the thought process. So later on, I'm going to share with you my personal thought process. Of course, it's not going to be representing Warren Buffett. That I do feel that maybe he probably thought about that as well. Okay, and that's why he decided to make certain investment decision for himself as well. Okay, so that was initially, right? Initially, they suspected, which is the market guess, that Warren probably sold off $5 billion worth of shares, and eventually it's actually confirmed. All right, it's confirmed that he indeed trimmed away some of his Apple's position, and on top of that, he also added, okay, some pharmaceutical companies, okay, into his portfolio, and he also slashed his stake. Okay, so when it says slash his stake, that means it's really quite a huge percentage of a stake in JP Morgan, in actually some of the other banks as well, has been really trimmed to a huge extent. Later on, we will see together exactly how much percentage did he trim away, and is this weightage significant in the first place, right? If the weightage is not significant, then actually you shouldn't be worried too much. On the other hand, if the weightage is indeed significant, that means to his portfolio it's indeed quite a substantial amount, then you should really be looking at whether is it still worth for you to continue to hold on to the investment if you already have, or maybe it's time for you to consider sell away some as well. All right, so let's take a look at the first major I wouldn't say it's major, but one of the hottest, the most popular kind of topic in terms of Warren is trimming away its Apple stocks. All right, so it's indeed quite a huge amount if you look at in terms of dollar. Okay, because it's indeed $4 to $5 billion worth of Apple stock, right? But how can you actually track these $5 billion worth of Apple stocks? How much percentage is it actually in Warren's portfolio, right? If it's a small, tiny amount, then you shouldn't be even worried, because as an investor, if I already have so many stocks, I do want to consider trim away some so that I have additional profits to buy into some other companies, especially when Apple stock actually in Warren portfolio has grown so much, right? So the profit is substantial. You want to take away some profit and buy into some other company. It's also possible. So the first thing we want to see is exactly how significant is the stake, okay? How significant is the trimming in this case, okay, in terms of Apple. So does anybody know how to track Warren Buffett's latest trade? Anybody know? If you know this, right? Okay, yes, oh my God, Edwin, well, you already know what kind of questions I'm going to ask. Yes, Guru Focus, okay? If you want to know how to track Warren Buffett's latest portfolio, latest trade, go to this website called gurufocus.com. Okay, if it's the first time that you are listening to this, I believe this session will be super helpful, because I'm going to share with you some nitty-gritty technical things that you can do on your own to track Warren Buffett's portfolio. All right, so let's go into Guru Focus, and I'm going to demonstrate to you step by step how you can do that. But let me share with you a very brief screen of what kind of things can Guru Focus show you, right? So this is the exact screenshot that I snapped, okay, from Guru Focus, and you can see Berkshire, okay, which is owned by Warren Buffett. Right now, he has 49 stocks, right? Out of these 49 stocks, what kind of stocks are there? Okay, you can see Apple, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, BAC, all these, right? So later on, let's go into Guru Focus together right now to really make sense of all this data. Okay, what do they mean in the first place? All right, let's go. Okay, so premium member. yeah. This is a premium member account, but even though you are not a premium member, you can actually still see a lot of data available. So what you can do is, okay, I'm just going to demonstrate from scratch. So just go to this website, okay? Let me start from scratch. So just go to gurufocus.com. And then after that, right, all you need to do is to over here, okay, you can see this search bar, right? Okay, so those beginner demonstrating for you. So over here, just type Warren Buffett's name, right? Warren Buffett. Okay, if this is something new to you, right, please type new. Okay, I also want to know exactly how useful is this session, okay, with you all. So if this Guru Focus is completely new to you, please type new, all right? So yeah, then I will know, wow, next time maybe if you guys are very, very advanced already, maybe you need to share something else. So Guru Focus, okay, once you type in Warren Buffett's name, and that's how you actually come to this page, right? So once you see this very, very cute old gentleman, then that's right. Okay, actually looks a little bit like KFC, Kentucky, the logo, okay, but that's Warren Buffett. And after that, all you need to do, right, I just scroll down to a little bit below. Okay, you can see Warren Buffett's latest trade. This is where you get to see all the latest trades that Warren recently did, and based on what date. Okay, it's actually back in September, right? So that's why it says it's last quarter, right? September, right? Okay, premium member on Guru Focus. All these, okay, all these, right? All these dates are useful because you can get to see which quarter did Warren actually make this decision. All right, so if you scroll down to below, you can actually see all the way to slightly earlier, all the way to like June. I actually have a lot of pages, but I'm just going to go through the latest trades because this is the topic of today, right? So after that, all you need to do, right, is after you see the dates, right, the next thing that you have to ask yourself, right, so what did Warren do exactly? You want to see, did he reduce a position? Did he add new positions, or did he maybe buy some new things? Okay, new buy. Okay, it could be new buy. So there are only 4 things that you need to identify. Okay, which is under the action. All right, under the action, there are only 4 types of action: reduce, okay, add, new buy, and sold out. All right, so all this, I think it's quite easy for you to understand, right? Reduce means initially it has, and then it decided to trim away. That's why it become a reduction, right? On the other hand, Warren already owned this, Berkshire already owned this in the portfolio, and they want to add some more, right? So that's add, right? New buy, on the other hand, it's something that it's completely new. It didn't have it wasn't inside the portfolio initially, and then it added brand new position. So this is new buy. And sold out, that means completely sold out. So let's take a look at the first one, which we are talking about, Apple right now, right? The reduction in Apple. So you can see that last quarter, Apple indeed got reduced. And we want to see exactly, okay, the second thing is, oh, wow, if Warren indeed sold away $5 billion worth of Apple shares, how much is the weightage in terms of its Apple position? Okay, all this information is inside Guru Focus. All you need to do is just scroll a little bit to the right. Okay, so can you see here under comment, it actually says reduce 3.7%. So do you think 3.7% is significant in terms of its Apple holding? If you think it's not so significant, please type NS, okay, not significant. Okay, if you think it's not significant, please type NS. However, if you think 3.7% out of the whole portfolio, the whole positions that Warren has, Berkshire has, is significant, please type S. Okay, let me know what does this 3.7% actually means to you. Okay, and once you guys type, I will also let you know what do I feel about this 3.7% as well. Okay, in the meantime, let me go back to StreamYard and see if any of you have any questions. Okay, NS, okay, Rachel think it's not significant. How about others? How about Brandon, Edwin? What do you guys think? All right, Henry, what do you guys think? If it's not significant, okay, Christine also think it's not significant. All right, so yeah, exactly. I personally feel that it's not significant also, right? Because Warren has been holding so much Apple shares. Reducing by less than 4%, I think it's very normal. Okay, as an investor, we always want to see how can we optimize our portfolio better. Do we need rebalancing? Yeah, so that's why if it's not significant, then if you are an Apple shareholder, if you see such news of Warren trimming away, selling $5 billion worth of stocks, then you shouldn't be worried. It's just part and parcel of how, as an investor, we balance our portfolio. We see how can we make use our cash better to allocate for some other new positions that actually Warren recently also initiated, right? But significant for me. Okay, so yeah, I get what you mean. Not significant. $5 billion worth of shares, not significant to Warren, but yeah, it's significant for me as well. I totally agree on that. Okay, so yeah, so from Warren Buffett's perspective, like all of you say, it's not significant, right? Hello, Shenli. Hello, long time no see. Okay, great to see you. I saw your video, super nice songs as usual. All right, so let's go back. And if you actually want to look at how much shares Warren still holding on, you can see this current shareholding is 944 million shares. Right, so 944 million shares he still has. So how much shares did he trim away? Okay, if you look back the news, he trimmed away about 38 million. Right, you can see here, right? 38 million shares versus more than 900 million shares. That percentage is so little. So that's why once again, when you read this kind of news, right, don't panic, okay? Don't panic. Just go and find out exactly how significant is the stake. Okay? If it's not significant, don't worry at all. So that's the first thing that I want you to learn as an investor. Don't read the news on the surface. Okay, make sure you go and find out and do a deeper research, deeper dive into it, and then you can make a better, much wiser investment decision as well. All right, so that's for number one. Okay, so that's how you learn to use Guru Focus. Hope you find it useful. Okay, now let's go to the number two investment traits, investment decisions that is quite significant as well to Warren Buffett recently. All right, that is another reduction. Okay, the first one is reducing Apple's, but it's a very minor stake. Okay, so nothing to worry about. But the second thing is reduction on banking sector, okay, which is the financial sectors as well, okay, except for one bank. Anybody know this bank that quite an exception, okay, to Warren Buffett, okay? All the other banks have been reduced quite significantly if you read the news just now, right? JP Morgan's okay, but which banks that is quite an exception, okay? On the other hand, didn't get reduced, but actually added even more positions during the recent quarter, okay? Which bank? If you remember the Guru Focus, the answer I already showed you just now, but if you're sharp enough, you have memory is good enough, you will still remember the answer. Yes, that's right. Okay, Tan, Lin, that's right, BAC. Okay, KT also say, Lily also say BAC. Okay, Calvinda also say BAC. Wow, you guys are have super great memory. All right, that's right. So that banks that didn't get reduced is actually just BAC. All right. So you can see, if you go back to Guru Focus, you can see here. All right. So Wells Fargo is a bank, JP Morgan is a bank, and these two banks got reduced, right? And how much is the percentage? Now, this time we want to see, once again, reduced. How much percentage? If it's small, doesn't matter. But actually, this round, it's quite significant. You can see this is close to 50%. And then the second one, it's almost 100%. It's like, almost very little stake inside this company called JP Morgan. And then for Wells Fargo, still have still left a little bit, but that is a huge reduction. So when you see this kind of position, then you have to be more careful, right? So that's how, if you are an investor of Wells Fargo or maybe JP Morgan, then you really have to start to think, is it still worth to continue to invest in these two companies, especially if you originally enter the position because Warren Buffett entered them. All right. So if you never do like in-depth research in terms of, hey, I really go and understand this company, I really go and dig out annual reports and everything. If you really purely enter based on Warren Buffett's decision, then you really need to rethink, because this is how Warren Buffett's, his move has changed quite significantly in these two companies. All right. On the other hand, okay, you can see BAC. Okay, a lot of you spotted it. He actually added, all right. He has been adding BAC for a while, right? So he added another 9.2% stake, which is close to 10%. This is considered significant, right? And BAC currently is actually one of the largest holding of Warren Buffett's whole portfolio. So later on, at the end of this sharing, I also want to show you the bird's eye view of Warren Buffett's portfolio right now, right? So for yourself, I'm not sure about, okay, I also want to ask you guys, like, when you are investing, right? Like, actually, especially recently, last week, do you know what happened to Bank's share price? Anybody know? Do you know what happened to Bank's share price last week? Okay, since Biden, okay, he got elected, okay, to be the next president, okay? And then there's also very positive news on COVID vaccine and everything, right? Anybody know, if you've been investing in banks, right? Okay, you definitely have been tracking your own portfolio. What happened to Bank's share price last week? What happened? Okay, let me know. Edwin reduced 95%, short face. Okay, short face. Okay, do you know what happened last week to Warren Buffett's? Not Warren Buffett, to Bank's share price. Let's talk about like BAC or JP Morgan, Wells Fargo in general. The Bank's share price actually jumped, okay? It really jumped quite significantly last week. And it was due to the two very positive news, okay, one from election, okay, one from COVID-19 vaccine, all right. DBS 24 increase, okay. So Kairu is talking about Singapore stocks, right? Yeah, I think Singapore stocks also, because US stocks increase, Singapore also get impacted positively, right? So DBS also increased a little bit as well, right? But in general, right, all these banks actually jumped quite significantly in 1 week. Just 16%, 16% in 1 week. I think it's like, what, super good profits. But then you need to ask yourself is, oh, so if Warren Buffett continued to invest in, let's say, BAC, right? But Warren Buffett did trim quite significantly in Wells Fargo, then you need to ask yourself, is it still worth to continue investing in banks, right? So if you've been following me, you know that I personally invest in banks, okay? I do find that this financial institution is it plays an important role in our everyday life. So I use CPF to invest in DBS, our local banks. But for US banks, I do have to use TD, okay, use my own cash to invest in banks. So I did actually very in-depth research on banking sector before. So this is just me demonstrating how I use my banking analysis to analyze local banks like UOB, DBS, but the same thought process applies to all other banks. Be it you want to analyze BAC, JP Morgan, it's the same thing. So if you want to go and learn, which I cover really in depth, if you have watched it before, you know how much I go into the in-depth nitty-gritty, right? So go and watch this video, bit.ly/bank analysis. Everything is small cap, so don't need to be cap, just small letter. And yeah, that's my YouTube channel. Go and watch when you have time. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I'm trying to grow my subscribers. All right. So go and watch it. And if you want to continue to invest in banks, but for myself, I just want to share with you that I actually trim away my bank's position as well. And I trim it last week, okay, because the share price jumped, right? When the share price jumped, I was actually happy because I made quite a big profit because of I invested in banks like BAC way back, like since March, right? And back then I invested it because it was such a great opportunity when banking sector, the financial sector really get pressured because of the COVID-19 news, right? And recently, due to the COVID-19 news being very positive again, I felt that, hey, no harm to take profit. And that's why I decided to actually sell away my BAC stake. And initially, I already sold other of my banking positions already, but not in local. I'm talking about US, because I do want to use the profits that I make to invest in other greater companies that can grow, okay, with or without COVID-19. Okay, so that's my own personal stake. That's why for yourself, as if you want to continue to invest in banks, you want to ask yourself this question: do you think the interest rate, okay, will continue to remain low for the next 1 to 2 years? Okay, do you think so? Okay, let me know. If you think that the interest rate is going to remain low for the next 1 to 2 years, please type low. Okay, but however, if you think that it will become high, okay, maybe it will grow, eventually become pretty high, or grow higher, or just type high. Okay, so in the meantime, let me answer some questions, right? But do let me know your answer, because that will form your investment thesis as well. Okay, so Lamping is asking, why is Warren selling banks except for BAC? Okay, actually, I personally, I feel that BAC is a very, very solid company, and I don't exactly know the reason why Warren Buffett is selling away other banks except for BAC. But I do feel that Warren, he still want to be because he's really familiar with these financial sectors, banks, insurance, so he still wants to have a stake in this. In fact, it's a very substantial stake in this sector. But on the other hand, he has more news, maybe more information, insights that we public don't really have on BAC, and he is long term. Okay, when he invests, it's really long term. Way long term than a lot of you actually behave, a lot of you actually think, right? It's very long term, and long term, actually, if you talk about it, the economy it's going to do well. Banking sector will also continue to grow, right? So that's why Warren continue to have a stake in BAC. But on my personal level is, okay, a lot of you actually agree with me, right? I also think that the interest rate is going to remain low for the next 1 to 2 years, right? So if it's going to remain low, actually the profit margin of banks is also very low, right? If you see how I analyze banks, you know that banks, they actually earn from the net interest margin. When the net interest margin got pressured, their earnings will be lesser. So when the earnings are lesser, it's very unlikely that the banking sector will perform extremely well. Okay, so when the performance is not going to be super well, I doubt the share price will be super highly appreciated as well. So as a result, I felt that even with this current level of COVID economy, it's not going to be like recovering super fast, super well. So I do feel that the interest rate is going to remain low, and I want to use my cash better in terms of investing in companies that grow, okay, even despite of COVID-19, okay, can grow much faster than how banks can grow. So because I am slightly more towards the growth investing rather than a more conservative, diversified kind of investing that Warren Buffett adopts, right? So that's why it's kind of two different approach. So for myself, will I consider re-entering BAC? Only if it really dropped very significantly again, then I may consider. However, at this current level, I felt that the profit was pretty decent, okay? Then I decided to sell away and use that cash for somewhere else, right? So, okay, so that's my own investment thesis. Once again, whatever that we share here on Endless are based on individuals' investing experience. Don't follow us blindly. Always remember, do your own due diligence, and always do your own homework before you invest in anything, right? So if you still want to invest in banks, okay, go ahead, but make sure you do your own analysis. And yeah, watch my YouTube video, okay, bit.ly/bank analysis, all small letters. Go and watch it and understand how you should be analyzing banks before you invest. So for myself, I still invest in banks, but in local banks. All right, so I use the same approach that I taught in this video to analyze and enter local banks as well. So go and watch it if you have not. All right. So JP Morgan investment income is growing well. Oh yeah, that's one of the very good things to note. So this, you can tell that Lam Ping actually go deeper into the annual report, and that's why he knows that JP Morgan's investment income is growing well, right? So banks, you do have to once again read into the annual report and see whether are you confident in this company, all right, despite of COVID-19 as well, right? So the third, okay. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much, Wendy, for putting up the links for the banking analysis video. So go and watch it if later on after this, right? Go and watch it if you have not done so, right? Especially if you are investing in banks or you are going to invest in banks. Okay. The third position is, all right, initiated in pharmaceutical. All right. So if you read the previous news just now, it did venture into new pharmaceutical stocks, okay, companies. And one of the biggest reason that I can think of is really because COVID-19 vaccine in general, right? Nevertheless, you know, the companies are really working very hard to develop and have this COVID vaccine to really try to solve and or at least minimize, to reduce the problem brought by COVID. And that's why all these companies are working so hard. Warren Buffett, okay, Berkshire Hathaway. Actually, this one I cannot really 100% sure, is it a Warren Buffett decision or it's a Berkshire decision, right? So, but nevertheless, yeah, Berkshire invested in these companies that has been producing COVID-related vaccines, right? So the news of Pfizer, okay, if you watched the news last week, okay, Pfizer actually together with BioNTech, right, they came up with this very highly effective, over 90% effective COVID vaccine, and that's why the share price really shoot up, okay, for the market in general, right? So these four companies are the recent new buy by Berkshire Hathaway. Right. So if you are someone into pharmaceutical, you will have know that the four names, right, are really big pharmaceutical companies in the world. Okay, Merck & Co, Pfizer, and all this. So Pfizer is the one that came up with that vaccine, right? But of course, if you want to go to Guru Focus, let me show you what is the significance. Okay, once again, let's talk about significance. Okay, Warren entered those positions, but exactly how significant is the move, okay, to his own portfolio, right? So let's take a look. Okay, you can see number 5, okay, it's AbbVie, okay, and then you have Merck & Co here, right? So if you can see, these two are new buy, right? New buy. Then you scroll slightly to the right, all right? New holding, right? You can see it's a brand new holding, and current shares is this, so it's about 21 million shares, okay? And for the second one, Merck & Co, it's about 22 million shares added, okay, in these positions, okay? Because it couldn't compare, because it was a brand new initiated position, it couldn't really compare. So you can't really tell how significant it is based on the comments. But later on, when we look at the bird's eye view of Warren Buffett's portfolio, then you will know how significant it is of these 21 million and 22 million shares being added to Warren's latest Berkshire portfolio, right? So another one, if you look at slightly below, okay, this one, this is a third company, right? Also newly added pharmaceutical company, 29 million shares, okay, pretty similar, pretty close in terms of number of shares. And let's look at Pfizer, okay, where's my Pfizer? Okay, it's here, okay, Pfizer is another one, so it's also a new buy, right? So let's go to the right and take a look. So, oh, this one is much lesser. It's about 3 million shares, all right? So once you understand the number of shares, okay, are you, so ZQ is asking a random question. I will answer your random question very soon. Okay, let's go through this first. So this is from 3 million shares, 29 million, 22 million, 21 million shares. Okay, how significant it is? Later, let's look at the bird's eye view from Warren Buffett's perspective, all right? And the second thing that you need to ask is, hey, if you were to invest in pharmaceutical companies, okay, remember as an investor, you always have to make sure, do you understand those companies, right? So do you think that COVID-19, this vaccine news, it's still quite tricky, okay? That means like, hey, even despite the fact that Pfizer is coming up with the news that, hey, the COVID-19 vaccine is going to be 90% effective. And then another company, actually Moderna, recently, I think just 2 days ago, it also came out with another news that their vaccine is 95% effective. So all these news are coming out. But do you think it's still tricky in terms of, the proliferation of these vaccines? Is it going to be reaching to the mass, okay, very, very quickly? Or do you think it's probably going to take a while, right? So the first thing is a logistic issue. Do you think it's going to be something that can be reached to us very, very quickly, or it's going to be taking a while, right? That's the first question. The second question you need to ask yourself is, so it says it's about 90% or 95% effective, but has it been actually proven to really have that impact that it stated, right? Because vaccine going through trial, it still will take a while, right? So if you think it's slightly tricky, okay, maybe not as promising as we thought to be, or maybe the news described to be, please type tricky, all right? So let me know. Okay, farmer feels very impacted by the news, right? Edwin says, yeah, it's going to be very impacted. Okay, so more into tech 5G. Okay, ZQ is into electric vehicle and China e-commerce. Okay, so you are into Tesla, I guess. All right. Yes. AbbVie is actually affiliated to Abbott. I'm not sure whether am I pronouncing correctly, but yes, it's related. It's actually a parent company, then spin-off, right? Spin-off to be AbbVie, right? So too speculative unless you have insider info. Yeah, exactly. So for myself, I think to invest based on COVID-19 vaccine news, it's too speculative because you never know who will be the winner, right? But at the end of the day, okay, I believe why Warren Buffett invested in them, it should be more than just COVID-19 news, okay? But because all these four companies they are really huge pharmaceutical companies in the US. And apart from doing COVID-19 vaccines, right, actually they do a lot more, right? A lot more drugs, okay? Depending on the nature of the company. Some even do generic drugs, some even come up with their own drugs. So all these, you need to ask yourself is, if you don't understand fully about the company, then you shouldn't be investing in them. So if you just want to invest based on the COVID-19 vaccine news, I have to say that it's too speculative. Your investment horizon is too short, right? Because even for COVID-19 vaccine, Pfizer, all right, based on the news, okay, the logistic is going to be really huge nightmare, because in order to make this vaccine to stay effective, okay, it has to be stored negative 70 degrees Celsius, all right, negative 70 degrees. And so far, all this infrastructure is not properly in place, all right? So to reach to us, okay, the normal mass is going to take like at least a year, right? So that is that is something that you need to ask yourself, is this a news a hype? Okay, do you want to invest based on hype news, or do you really want to invest long term? But if you ask yourself long term, right, in terms of pharmaceutical, healthcare, do you think that healthcare is going to grow regardless whether have COVID-19 or not? Okay, if you think healthcare, right, regardless COVID or not, it's going to grow, please type grow, all right? Let me know. Okay, hype is over. Okay, so yeah, ZQ say hype is over. COVID-19, Pfizer and Moderna, early contender and Innovia. Wow, you must be someone who are very, very into pharmaceutical as well. You know a lot of news as well. Okay, tricky, right? Lily think it's tricky, right? So Edwin say, yeah, they have not announced the prices yet. US Pharma has long-standing issues regarding price manipulation. So a lot of other things that you need to consider. But despite that, okay, a lot of you also agree, right? CK say it's going to grow. Lin also say Lin also is going to grow. Angela say sure grow, because we want to become, we want to lengthen our lifespan. We want to have better quality of life. Okay, if we have an illness or if our family members have illness, we really don't mind spending more money, despite the fact that we know it's costly, but we really want to make sure our family members or our health, right, continue to be protected. And that's why healthcare is a sector that will grow. Right, that that full stop. Okay, we all know that. So that's why I felt that when Warren invested, or when Berkshire invested in these 4 companies, the investing time frame is not just about COVID-19. It's really about long-term. Actually, healthcare is here to stay, and it's here to continue to grow, right? But on the other hand, you as an investor, you are not too sure. I'm not too sure whether these 4 companies, is it going to make it or not? I don't want to read into the nitty-gritty of the annual report, trying to see what kind of patents are expiring, what kind of pipeline that is going to grow. It's too much for you. Then another way that you can invest in healthcare, very simple, right? If you are not an expert in pharmaceutical, you just want to know, buy the sector, right? The sector is going to be here and going to grow. Then just buy this ETF lah, right? I've been talking about ETF for a longest time. In fact, I personally also buy ETF. Some of the ETFs that I shared since I think June or August, right? Some of the ETF I shared in Anna's Facebook group, it has gone up like close to 20%. Okay, if you purchase, if you bought, you take action together with me lah, because I personally also took action. Your ETF position will have up like 20% or even more, right? So this is one of the ETF that I personally am also vested, because I think healthcare, like all of you, continue to grow. It will continue to grow. Thank you, Sam, suggesting ETF again. Hey, it's really one of the most brainless way of investing, but it's so safe, right? It's so safe. If you tell me the top 10 holding, actually, if you think about it, the top 10 holding, Warren Buffett are owning them. Pfizer, all right, Merck & Co, okay, the Abbott Laboratories, which is the one that affiliate, right, that you just mentioned. Actually, this is a parent company, and then AbbVie is the spin-off. It's also here, right? And the last one, Warren also bought into them. So, hey, if you're not too sure about, hey, will these 4 companies continue to make it, just buy the ETF lah, right? $100, okay, 111 to be exact, $111, you become the shareholder, okay? You own all these companies, they work for you, and you don't even have to monitor the market, because long-term, this ETF, okay, this healthcare sector is going to grow, and that's how this company will make more money. Your ETF share price will also appreciate. It's that simple, okay? Just so defense and aerospace. Oh, okay, you bought some China stocks. Okay, I continue to be long-term bullish about defense. Okay, hey, that defense are up 20%. I shared about it. It's already up 20%. Okay, if you've been following me, that is the one that I talk about. Okay, so XLV, you can consider to add into your portfolio, so that you are also in the long-term bullish trend of healthcare. All right. So now let's go to the bird's eye view of Warren Buffett's portfolio. At the end of the day, we want to see how significant are the newly added positions, especially you can't really compare based on the comment, right? You can't really compare because it's just written new holding. But how significant it is to hold Warren Buffett's portfolio, the Berkshire portfolio, right? All you need to do is, let me demonstrate to you. It's super, super simple to know. Okay, you go back here, Guru Focus, right? Can you see that there is some map over here, right? The map. All right, so all you need to do is to just expand this, okay, just expand, and you have this map all available to you, and it tells you exactly how much weightage is individual stock it is right now in the whole portfolio holding. So Apple, you can see that the total percentage of portfolio is 47.78%. So literally half of Berkshire's investing portfolio right now is in Apple. So if you ask me, hey, about 50% of my portfolio, I trim 4%, and now it's about 47%. Is it okay? I think it's totally okay, because 50% of my portfolio is in Apple. I don't mind trimming it, so that half the cash has grown so much, I use the profit to invest in something else, right? So another thing, BAC. Okay, BAC is the second largest the investment stake. Okay, inside 10%, more than 10%. So you know that Berkshire or Warren Buffett is very, very bullish towards this company, and that's why it doesn't even mind holding more than 10% of it. It's holding in BAC. And then followed by, this is Coca-Cola, this is American Express, Kraft, And then USB is another bank. So you can see that Wells Fargo currently is about 1.31%, okay, which is really not a lot, okay, and it actually trimmed quite significant, close to 50% of stake recently. So this is where you consider, right? So where are the newly added one? If you can't see its name, right? Oh, it's here, okay. So this is one of the stock, okay, Merck, okay, Merck & Co, AbbVie, it's here, 4.44. Okay, wait, 0.81, sorry, 0.81 of the portfolio. And this one is also 0.81. Okay, so I think the other one, let me see. Yeah, BMY. Okay, so this is the one. BMY is also here, 0.79%. So you can see that the recent added positions in those pharmaceutical companies actually is not huge, right? Only, it's not even 1%. Okay, it's like 0.8, 0.78. Maybe all 4 companies add up together are even less than 3%. Okay, so that's why it's a very, very minor stake that Warren or maybe Berkshire is actually holding on, right? So that's why if you are very bullish, okay, I think don't be overly bullish towards particular companies unless you are super familiar with the pharmaceutical sector, you're super familiar with the pharmaceutical company itself, then you consider investing in the company. However, but if you are not familiar but you're still long-term bullish, I think ETF is more than good enough, right? Very simple, straightforward investment, don't need to think much, right? And Lumping is asking why Warren sold off Costco, right? This is actually another question that I'm also thinking. So maybe when I do more research, I have more answer to that, I do another Facebook Live again. But I think that is a very, very interesting investment decision that I wouldn't expect it, but it indeed happened, right? ZQ say Costco is very old school. But I do feel that Costco has a very powerful moat, okay, despite that it's been old school, right? So yeah, it's good to think through. All right, so that is the that's the bird eye view. I hope that you find it helpful. Okay, if you find that whatever that I have shared so far is helpful, right, please let me know. Please type helpful. I will be more than happy to know that it's helpful. All right. So another thing is for those who are looking for more related content that is related to investing, actually our Next Level All Stars have a lot of past archive videos. Whenever you are free, just feel free to scroll back and relearn, okay? Because the investment thesis, the thought process, right? Sometimes it's really timeless, right? A lot of things that I talked about a few months ago, if you implemented it, you have actually made money, right? But if you didn't implement, you didn't take action, it's okay, right? Just go back and watch to understand the thought process behind how we invest so that you can also become a better investor. So for myself, I also have my own YouTube channel. It's basically an archive, so much easier for you to find back all the relevant resources, all the relevant articles, or not articles, I mean videos that I actually shared earlier. Just go to this link, bit.ly/YouTube, okay? YT stands for YouTube, YT Business and Invest, all right? So I really want to use this channel to empower more people to start investing, especially ladies, right? Ladies, if you are watching, you will understand the power of investing. You create your own economy, okay? This is the best ever. And my goal for myself this year is I want to hit 1,000 subscribers. And I am 271 subscribers away. If all of you just help me to go and subscribe, you will give me the best Christmas present ever. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. Okay, so yeah, those who are watching, yeah, if you feel like supporting my YouTube channel, just give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and yeah, continue to watch my YouTube videos as well. I do find that a lot of content that I share is very, very useful, right? But remember, you need to go and take action, right? And last but not least, thank you, Henry, thank you, Stephanie. All right, subscribe, Liao. Thank you. Wow, thank you, Edwin. Thank you. You gave me a very good Christmas present. It's coming. All right. And one more thing that I have good news for all of you is if recently you guys attended our recent online event. It's called Runway 2021. I believe that you guys also took away a lot of insights. In fact, we are actually wanting to have another group great event like this, and we want to invite really amazing speakers, like world-class speakers, to share with you different aspects of life, so that you can really improve in different aspects in have an amazing 2021, right? So what's going to happen is we have not officially launched it yet, but actually we are in the midst of confirming. Anybody know one very, very famous speaker on this banner? Super famous one. In this banner, what is his name? That you can spot this very famous, I give you a specified Angmo, very famous Angmo here, that, wow, if you go and attend his talk, right, you will literally feel inspired, because he's such an amazing person, full of tenacity, full of determination, really like unstoppable. Nick, yes, that's right, Nick. So we are confirming his schedule, and if possible, we really want him to be here to share with you how you can thrive in 2021. He is really one of the most amazing international motivational speaker, not just because his words are motivating, the fact that he himself is a living testimony of how you can thrive, regardless of all the difficulties, adversities that you have in your life, right? So stay tuned to that. We'll be making announcement to this very soon. Once we confirm his schedule, we'll let you know. And together with him, we have other amazing speaker as well to share with you different aspects of how you can improve, be it your business, be it your investing, be it your health as well. So that it's really going to be an amazing event. So agree. Thank you so much. got one name. Okay, I'm so sorry. I realized I already reviewed the answer. Yes, the answer is already Nick Vujik, right? So yeah, we will be inviting him, but we will be sending you guys the information how you can join us, together with and really learn from Nick directly, personally. That's super amazing. So that's all I have to share, and thanks everyone for watching, and hope you guys find it helpful. And once again, we can't wait to see you during our next level All-Star show. All right, so have a great evening, everybody. Oyasumi nasai. Bye-bye.